In a country where fame can open doors and close others just as fast, one night in January 2014 changed everything for one of the Philippines' most familiar faces. What began as a private visit turned into a public nightmare, filled with accusations, violence, and years of courtroom battles. He was beaten, bruised, and humiliated. She claimed she was assaulted. Cameras caught fragments, but not the truth. The story that followed would grip the nation, a collision of celebrity, power, and justice that blurred the line between victim and accused. This is Pinoy True Crime Story. And tonight, we uncover the case of Vhong Navarro, the scandal that shook Philippine showbiz. It was late January 2014. Lights and shadows played through the glass walls of Forbes Wood Heights in Bonifacio Global City. The elevators hovered between floors, doors opening softly. Outside, the city pulsed with life. Inside, a situation was quietly spiraling toward violence. Ferdinand Vhong Navarro, actor and host, was invited by a female friend, Deniece Cornejo, to her condominium unit. Something about the invitation made sense. They had known each other, shared social circles, perhaps mutual favors, or shared conversations. Navarro took the trip. He got off an elevator. He walked into her unit. Then everything changed. From what Navarro later said, moments after arriving at Cornejo's condominium, men ganged up on him. They tied him, hooded or blindfolded him, or rendered him unable to defend himself. They beat him. They threatened him. They demanded money. They detained him. The pain was physical. The humiliation, psychic. He was pinned in a nightmare. He could not leave. Outside the condo, time kept moving. The world was unaware of the violence inside those walls at first. But someone would soon notice. Irregular movements, doors closing, a friend's absence. Cornejo filed a rape complaint against Navarro, alleging that while he was in her unit, he had raped her. That was January 29, 2014. CCTV elevator footage would later become central. The cameras recorded her leaving the elevator not long after Navarro's arrival. The timeline looked tight. The footage suggested that Cornejo had gone out quickly. Navarro said this: "How could rape or attempted rape take place in that limited time? How could the alleged violence claimed take place so swiftly and secretly?" There were other voices. Roxanne Caballero, another woman, filed a rape case against Navarro alleging a different event in 2010. That case was dismissed in October 2014. The Department of Justice described the evidence as contradictory, suspicious, weak. The standard seemed clear: alleged wrongdoing, but insufficient proof. Navarro remained the accused but fought back. He said he was the victim. That, in addition to being beaten, tied, threatened, those brute actions were real, visceral, physical. He claimed they illegally detained him for ransom. That the assault wasn't just about the supposed rape accusation, there was an element of extortion. That the injuries mattered. That justice should weigh all these suffering. As months passed, the case twisted through layers of legal filings, preliminary investigations, dismissals, revivals. Cases filed, then dismissed for lack of probable cause. Appeals made. Debate erupted. Public opinion divided. Laws, courts, media, all became arenas for a story growing louder. The legal tug-of-war. Cornejo claimed rape and acts of lasciviousness. Navarro's defense argued that the accuser's statements were inconsistent, that some stories shifted, time estimates didn't match, that CCTV proved parts of his version. For years, his camp insisted that Navarro was not guilty, that the charges had to be rigorously proven. The prosecutors investigating had to decide: Does this cross the threshold for trial? Then 2022 came. Nearly 8 years later, the judicial pendulum swung again. The Court of Appeals reversed the earlier dismissal by the DOJ and ordered prosecutors to file the rape and acts of lasciviousness charges in Taguig. Arrest warrants were issued. Navarro surrendered to the NBI. He was detained under those warrants. The tension returned, surfaces reopened. Bail, non-bailable charges. Media spotlight flicked back on. In September 2022, the warrant of arrest was issued, and Navarro surrendered voluntarily to the NBI. He underwent medical examinations. He was later transferred to Taguig City Jail. A court fixed his bail for some charges. For others, no bail was allowed, such as for the rape charge. By December 2022, he was allowed to post bail for some of the charges. The acts of lasciviousness case allowed bail, but the more serious rape case remained non-bailable. The proceedings were set. Hearing dates fixed. The schedule mapped out for prosecution's evidence, defense's counter. Months stretched out into years. Then, in May 2024, there was a breakthrough in the case of serious illegal detention. The Taguig City Regional Trial Court, Branch 153, under Judge Mariam G. Bien, found Deniece Cornejo, Cedric Lee, Ferdinand Guerrero, and Simeon Palma Raz, Jr. guilty beyond reasonable doubt of serious illegal detention with ransom, relating to the night Navarro was detained. They were sentenced to reclusion perpetua. The court did not accept the defense's framing that this was a citizen's arrest after an attempted rape. The judgment said the accused inflicted serious physical injuries, threatened to kill Navarro, demanded money for his release. The court also canceled bail for those convicted. They were ordered to pay damages, moral and civil. Eyes turned next to the rape and acts of lasciviousness complaints. Supreme Court involvement, lower courts' rulings, the evidence assessed. In March 2023, the Supreme Court dismissed the rape and acts of lasciviousness cases due to lack of probable cause and material inconsistencies in Cornejo's complaint. In essence, the court said prosecutors had found Cornejo's statements problematic, contradictions that weakened the probability of guilt. Through all this, Navarro's own life was caught between public sympathy and suspicion. For some, he was a victim, beaten, extorted, detained. For others, if allegations of rape had any weight, there must be accountability. But until there was conviction, or evidence solid enough to survive scrutiny, the legal status remained complex. Part convicted, illegal detention. Part cleared, other charges. Public reaction was fierce. Media debates. Did the powerful get special treatment? Did the rich manage to make time drag? Did the courts lean one way or another under pressure? The role of CCTV footage, inconsistencies, witness statements versus public images, all scrutinized. Social media dissected every interview, every file, every dismissal. Over time, the convicted accused began to serve their sentences. By May 2024, business figure Ferdinand Guerrero, the last of the convicted in the illegal detention case, surrendered and was transferred to New Bilibid prison. The convicted, Cornejo Raz, taken into custody immediately upon promulgation of verdict. Warrants issued against those not present during promulgation. Their bail canceled. They would pay damages. Navarro emotionally thanked the court, his family, his lawyers. He said he had prayed for this day. But the story remains not fully over. For many, the rape case remains dismissed. For others, questions linger. Was justice served? Was timing fair? Was evidence mishandled? Did public opinion shape outcomes? Did fame and influence help or hinder the process? Through it all, Navarro continued his career, appearances, performance, recovering physically, emotionally. Injuries healed, but scars remained. The case had changed him. It had changed Deniece Cornejo. It had changed the public's view of celebrity, power, consent, and the court system in the Philippines. Today, the Vhong Navarro case stands as more than a scandal. It is a study in how the law moves slowly, how allegations can bloom into charges or wither in dismissal. It is about public trust in the courts, in prosecutors, in the idea that justice may reach everyone, rich or poor. And in that slow crawl toward verdicts, amid convictions and acquittals, victims and accused, fame and shame, the Philippine legal system reveals its strengths and its weaknesses. The Vhong Navarro case is not just about what happened in a condo unit one night. It's about the weight of proof, the burden of delay, the echoes of power, the search for truth in courts where time can erode memory, perception, and hope. In the end, justice found its way, but not without years of pain, doubt, and public scrutiny. The case of Vhong Navarro became more than just a celebrity scandal. It exposed how truth can twist under pressure, how fame can magnify every wound, and how justice in the Philippines can move painfully slow, but still move. As the courts close their files and the public moves on, the question remains, in a world where stories are told by headlines, who gets to decide what's real and who is truly the victim? This has been Pinoy True Crime Story. If this case gripped you as much as it did the nation, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real stories of crime, truth, and justice in the Philippines. Until next time, stay vigilant, stay curious, and remember, every story hides a deeper truth.